Hi everyone, it's Jennifer from Fiberflux. In this video, I will show you how to crochet the Little Man scarf. This is a fun and super fast crochet project that you can make for your favorite child. And it doesn't necessarily have to be for a little boy. You can make it in any color you like, but it makes a nice little, very warm scarf for a child. And for this project, you'll need two colors of your favorite bulky yarn. Just as a side note, this red is Lion Brand's Hometown USA in the Cincinnati red. This blue is the Lion Brand Hometown USA in Fort Worth blue. For this tutorial, I'll be using the same Cincinnati red as the scarf, but I'm also going to use some Wool-Ease Thick and Quick in the denim color. This is just some yarn I had left that I had on hand, and this is a great project for using up some bulky yarn that you might have on hand. So for this project, you'll need a 9mm end crochet hook, a tapestry needle, and a pair of scissors. So let's get started. We're going to begin our scarf by putting a slip knot on the hook. To make a slip knot, wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop. Bring the yarn behind the loop, reach in with your crochet hook, and bring up the loop and tighten it onto your hook. There is no specific starting chain for this scarf. You're going to make a chain the length of the scarf you'd like. Because this scarf is crocheted lengthwise, you'll make your chain as long as you would like your scarf to be, and then add 2 more chains to that, okay? So I'm going to make just a small sampler version to show you the basics. So to make a chain, we're going to wrap yarn around the hook and bring it through the loop. I'm going to do about 12 chains just to show you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay? So once you have your starting chain, and again, you'll make this as long as you'd like your scarf to be. I kind of did this on purpose when I created this pattern because kids are so many different heights and you can really customize it to the child's height. Okay? So what we're going to do for our foundation row, in the second chain from the hook, we're going to work a single crochet. So this loop here does not count. So let's count 1, 2. In the second chain from the hook, we're going to work a single crochet. To make a single crochet, insert your hook into the chain and bring up a loop. Wrap yarn around hook and bring it through both loops. That's the single crochet. Okay? We're going to work a single crochet in each chain all the way across. Okay? So single crochet. Obviously your scarf will be longer. So you'll just do this all the way across in each chain until you get to the end. And I wanted to mention these patterns that use this super bulky yarn and a large hook are very, very fast. So this makes this a great charity project because not only is it fast to make a bunch of them for charity, but also they're extremely warm. Okay, so we just worked a single crochet in each chain all the way across, so it'll look kind of like this. To move on to row 1, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. So for this row, we're going to be working a single crochet in the front loops only of our work. So if we come back to our scarf, you can see there's a very subtle kind of ridge throughout the scarf. This will give us that little ridge, kind of like a ribbing effect. So what we're going to do, normally when you insert your hook into a stitch like this, if we look at the top view, you're going to have 2 loops on your hook. But we're just going to insert our hook into the front loop only, like this. So if we look at the top view, you can see just 1 loop is on our hook and the other loop is behind our hook, okay? So insert your hook and bring up a loop. Wrap yarn around hook and bring it through both loops. So we're just doing this all the way across. Insert it into the front loop, bring up a loop, yarn around hook, Bring it through both loops. So we'll just do this all the way across our row. Again, we're going into the front loops. If you're not into this ridge, this ribbed effect, you can just insert it into the stitch and make your single crochets like you normally would. But I thought this gave a little bit of an interest and a little bit of texture to the scarf. Okay, we're just doing this all the way across. And again, your scarf will be much longer than this. Okay, and then also in this turning chain, we'll do the same thing. Okay, so we've created a little bit of a ridge here, and if you flip it over, you can see our little decorative ridge that we've created. Okay, so you're just going to keep repeating this row over and over and over until your scarf is as wide as you would like it to be. I didn't make mine very wide because it is for a child. And when you're ready to switch colors, you can just cut the yarn and fasten off. I'm just going to go ahead and tie the new color on. If you have a preferred way of joining yarn, you can definitely feel free to do it at this point. So let's switch to the blue. Again, this is the Wool Ease Thick and Quick in the denim color. Okay, so what you're going to do is that last stitch that we made, just insert your hook, bring the new yarn through, and just go ahead and tie it right on. Again, if you like to join your yarn a different way, there's lots and lots of ways to do it. Definitely feel free to use whatever technique you like best. So we're just tying that right on, and then we're just going to keep repeating row 1, the same row we just did, but in the new color. So insert your hook back into that stitch and bring up a loop. Chain 1 and turn like we did before. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to, if we look at our loops again, insert the hook into the front loop only and make those single crochets all the way across. Get some more yarn here. So we're just doing this all the way across. And when you change colors, you can see these stitches even more. They reveal themselves even more. So again, we're just working single crochets in the front loop only all the way across our row. And we're just repeating the row we did before. We're just doing this in a different color. Okay, so do that all the way across. And also a single crochet in the turning chain as well. Okay, so it'll look kind of like that when you change colors. And we can also remove our hook. We can flip this over and see it looks very textured and stitchy when we work in the front loops like that. It just adds a little bit of interest. Okay, so once your scarf is as wide as you would like it to be, and you can switch colors as many times as you like, you can do even more than 2 colors if you want. You can just go back to red for the next row and just have this as a thin blue stripe. You could do a color block, sort of like how I did, however you like. And it really depends too on how much yarn you have. If you just have a little bit of blue like I do, you could just do 1 or 2 stripes. So go ahead and cut the yarn when you're finished your scarf, and you can fasten it off. And then with your tapestry needle, you can weave in all these ends. Now I didn't weave the ends in as I went along, but if you weave the ends in as you go along, you'll save yourself a lot of work in the long run. So just thread your tapestry needle. And when you're weaving in ends in a multicolored project, you'll want to weave the blue into the blue area, for example, and the red into the red area. You don't want a blue strand of yarn traveling through this red section. So when you do your finish work, just make sure you're weaving the end into the proper color. Okay, so just come in one direction and then bring it back into the other direction. And that'll hopefully keep that end from popping out. Kind of locks it into place. Okay, so you're just going to trim that, and then you'll just repeat for all the other ends in your project. So that is how you crochet the little man scarf. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the red subscribe button to get all the latest Fiber Flux video updates. Thanks again.